Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are ready and for a super duper happy Friday. Okay, let's see here. What do we got going? We have a lot of stuff to cover today, so we're not going to waste a lot of time with it. I just ate I just ate one of them breakfast corn dog thingies. It was pretty delicious. I've had my mulberry tea this morning. If you don't know what that is, you might want to look into it. Now I'm drinking chai. The new local prepper mug has not shown up yet. Supposedly by 9 p.m. tonight. UPS, you're screwing up. You're screwing up. All right. I'm going to let's see here. Looks like the chat is actually working. Let me make sure I've got good comms here. Let's see view on YouTube. Make sure sucker's actually running. And it is. It is. It's running just right. All right, so of course I've completely jinxed that, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and roll up to the chat there. Looks like Debbie says morning, 8 degrees wind chill this morning. Yeah, the wind has been kicking everybody's butt, but you are still first. Rose number two. All righty, second day in a row. You are the turd. Get it up. All right, let's see here. We got Rose is in the house. Got Catitude, Cool Colt showed up. What's going, man? Gee, I wonder why. Why are you yellow today? Why are you yellow today, Cool Cold? Yeah, inquiring minds want to know. Let's see here. Is there color? Is there color for 6 months? Catitude. I believe there is. Let's see here. What we got here? Philip showed up. Good morning. Good morning, Philip. Bob is in the house. Got Ian in the house. West Virginia Pappy. Sup? Gibbsby is here. Pasture of reality. The Lamb's Light. Good morning, my friend. Laszlo's in the house. We got Andy, Captain Pegleg. Good to go. Made it back. Yeah. It's like I just got here, man. We got here Rose, YouTube on phone acting up, had to close and reopen at least 3 times. Whoa, that's a problem. And Mr. J, good morning. Good morning. Rose says I'm 5x5. And let's see here. UPS stuck in the snow. No, it's not that bad. There's still snow on the ground here, but it's not that bad. Andy says we got another 2 to 3 inches of snow on top of 12. That's the best. 2 inches heading our way was in MOI, currently 18 here. Gotcha. All right. So with that said, as usual, according to the thumbnail, it's bad news Friday. It's always bad news Friday, guys. They're going to wait until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock to give us the bad news, but there's some stuff that we know about already, and we're going to cover it. Some of you may know about this, some of you may not. Also, for the new people watching, the way this works is I talk about something, you write something, I talk about what you wrote. And then somewhere in the middle, we'll do like a sponsor thing or whatever. Okay. But let's go ahead and start with. I'm going to push this button and pray that it works. Also, your chat may need to populate there because I don't know what the watch screen is. It's just doing weird shit. All right. So, oh, it populated. Look at that. It actually worked. Your chat, it's down there. It's almost never there. I don't know why, but it's decided to work today. All right. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the Supreme Court of the United States, also known as SCOTUS, declines Trump's bid to delay New York sentencing. Paul gets 100% relief. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so this happened yesterday, actually, guys, and it's the precursor to what will happen today, and in fact, it will happen in 25 minutes. LP 12-degree wind chill here in Texas, Panhandle. Gotcha. What's up, Billy? I always recognize your what was it your profile picture, Billy, because I used to actually have an anonymous channel. So let's see here. So, Supreme Court of the United States has denied President-elect Donald Trump's request to stop the sentences in so-called hush money case in New York. In a 5-4 ruling Thursday, SCOTUS rejected Trump's emergency request to delay the proceedings. Justices on the bench, such as Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, and Brent Kavanaugh, voted to approve Trump's request. However, Trump appointed Justice Amy Coney Barrett, never trust a woman with two last names, voted against it with the Democrat justices in January 2024. She also previously sided with the Biden administration on a border measure. Oh, Justice John Roberts also voted against the request, siding with the Democrats. Son of a bitch. In a brief order, the justices gave two reasons for the decision. First, the allegedly evidentiary violations at President-elect Trump's state court trial can be addressed in the ordinary course on appeal. That's the primary reason. Second, the burden that sentencing will impose on the president-elect's responsibility is relatively insubstantial in light of the court's stated intent to impose a sentence of unconditional discharge, which we'll talk about here briefly. After a brief virtual hearing, Trump is set to be sentenced today, and it's only 10 days before the 20th. The 20th. So yeah, the what's happening is, and let's see if this chat one works. Let's see if this chat one works because you guys are putting stuff in the chat. Oh, it looks like the chat thing is kind of working. I really do need to adjust that. Can I adjust? Oh, you just got to chat more stuff. That's all. It's not being blocked. There's still more room up there. You put more stuff in it, it'll roll up to the top. All right. So let's see here. Basically, what's happened is the bottom line is the Supreme Court is they're not doing anything bad. They're actually not doing anything bad. What they've done is they've set or they've maintained precedent. The fact that they saw it, they agreed to hear this emergency petition was good. And the fact that they kicked it back to the lower court is also good. That way, everybody isn't running to the Supreme Court with an emergency petition every time somebody, spanks their ass or something. The bottom line with this particular thing is that um, this will all be taken care of in the appellate court. Um, is it appellate? Is it appellate? Uh, yes, the appellate, the appellate court. This will all be taken care of. This will all be washed away in the appellate court. And just because Trump is the president doesn't mean that he's not going to be like, let's do this right. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's kind of catch 22 because if he doesn't like just pardon himself and say go away, uh, then he takes the chance of the appellate court saying no, we're going to uphold this. And the bottom line is that it was they literally created the situation. They didn't write a new law, but they just found this old one that says, but the bottom line was is that he didn't do anything illegal. That's what's so stupid about this. He didn't do anything illegal. I honestly don't think he got a fair trial because of where he was tried. It's it's kind of fine. It's kind of hard for a Russian to get a fair trial in Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of situation right there. But I'm going to go ahead and roll to the chat here real quick, but we're going to move right on to Trump's hush money sentencing and what we can expect. So, another day in paradise. Here you go. What's up, Bullseye? Good to see you, bro. Let's see here. Gibbsy says, "Oh, you guys got some other stuff in here. What do we got going on here? Where are we at here? You found you found my channel? Yes, we found your channel. Quit self-promoting. We love you, man." They left all the other disaster victims with 750 alone. California gets 100% of damage and cleanup covered. Gives me I wouldn't play into that. I really wouldn't play into that because the government's all talk. They're all talk. Okay. Uh, California created this situation. All right. Let's just be let's talk about the fire for just a brief second. Okay. This is what they call an act of God situation. Whether religious or not, that's the way the insurance companies look at it. Also, for all these people who lost their lost everything and have no insurance, this is the state's fault. Okay? And here's why. The insurance companies were taking it in the ass over these fires every year. And they have their own internal experts as well. Okay. And those experts are saying, listen, man, this place is a tinderbox. It's going to go up. There's not enough water. It doesn't rain enough. The state is just doing all this wonky stuff. They're not taking care of the forest the way they're supposed to. They're all supposed to be like green and this and that, and they're just not taking care of all the deadfalls and buildup. There's no they rarely do a controlled burn because they're scared or inept or whatever, okay? But they literally just haven't been taking care of the forest in their particular areas, in these particular areas. And so the insurance companies experts say, you guys got to get out of this or you got to raise rates. Something's got to happen. There's got to be some kind of tit for tat justification for us to be, going under every single time something goes wrong out here in vineyard country, that kind of thing, right? And I'm sure those experts at some point said, at some point, guys, it's going to it's going to go over this hill. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to go down into Hollywood, Pacific Palisades. It's going to go into these areas. And so the insurance companies are in the process of pulling out of the state. 7 of the 15 biggest insurance companies have pulled out of California because they said, California, this is dangerous and we are not going to be liable for this. And so if you don't let us raise rates in your state, then we're going to pull out. And the state said, see ya. Okay. They played tough, but they were the ones with the tinderbox. And now this has happened. So we've got an act of God situation here. And everybody's screaming about insurance companies this and insurance companies that. And you know what? If somebody told me that, if somebody put me in that position and I was the insurance company, I'd do the same thing. It's a business. It makes money. Okay. Yes, it protects people, but it protects people with that money. And if they don't have that money to protect that amount of people, then it's not a business. It's another welfare state game they're playing. All right. Also saw the left complaining about, oh, that's not true. The $17 million didn't really get taken out of the budget. Actually, the chief of fire, the fire chief, okay, for Los Angeles, gave an interview and said that the budget was reduced by $17 million. Oh, well, that was because you spent $17 million on something last year and you don't need it this year, and that's why that's not there. That's the real reason. A budget is a budget. It's that easy. If the fire chief for Los Angeles County is giving interviews, like sitting down, like 60-minute type interviews, and telling people that they reduced our budget by $17 million, means that the fire chief had submitted a budget to them and they cut it down. Those are facts, right? The left can try and justify it all day long, but it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. All right, let's see here. You guys put some stuff in there. No forced cleanup on fire breaks. Also, the Helene disaster and Lamb of the Light. Good to see you. Also, the Helene disaster be ongoing for who knows how long. And CA has a lot of media coverage. We don't. Lots of people have died and will be forever missing. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Rose says, was mentioned earlier that we have found water running at destroyed properties, maybe cause of low pressure in the hydrants. Don't know, just relaying. Yeah, I mean, that's logical. It's completely logical, Rose. Um, yeah, that's it. I saw that mayor in Ghana. Well, and okay. Sorry, I'm driving from Virginia Hospital. Well, okay. Well, drive safely, Bullseye. Or VA hospital. All right, so let's roll on to the next thing, which is actually pertinent because it starts in 15 minutes. We won't be watching it, but it is, because they don't publicize those things. But what we can expect. See there, look at that. The chat just disappeared, guys. If you don't post anything, the chat just disappears from this. And I don't have it on a timer. It's supposed to stay there all the time. I don't know why. So when you guys post something, it'll pop up in there. All right, so Trump will be sentenced in hush money case today. Here's what we can expect. The president-elect Donald Trump will be sentenced in a hush money criminal case Friday after the Supreme Court refused to pause it. The first ever sentencing of a former president on criminal charges, though Trump will likely face few, if any, penalties, and is all but certain not to be sentenced to prison. Trump's sentencing is scheduled for 9:30 a.m. on January 10th, which is today, after Manhattan Judge Juan Merchan issued an order on January 3rd scheduling Trump's sentencing and rejecting the president's elect request to Merchan to throw out the guilty verdict. I could probably make that bigger for you guys. There you go. There we go. All right. The Supreme Court late Thursday evening rejected Trump's. We talked about that already. The High Court said that the hearing doesn't need to be put on hold because Trump's argument for the verdict should be thrown out, the case be heard through the normal appeals process. The New York Court of Appeals, the state's highest court, also refused to stop Trump's sentencing Thursday morning as the president-elect went to the court after both Merchan and New York appeals judge declined to pause it while Trump appeals two orders Merchan issued upholding the guilty verdict. A jury found Trump guilty. We're not going to read that. That's stupid. Um, Merchan has all but ruled out sentencing Trump to prison. However, noting Friday his inclination to not impose any sentence of incarceration and acknowledging prosecutors have admitted putting Trump in prison would not be practicable ball. Given his impending presidency, the judge said granting Trump an unconditional discharge seems to be the most viable solution, which means Trump will still be convicted of crimes, but will not have any penalties levied against him. While Merchan has suggested he's likely to grant um, He's likely to grant an unconditional discharge. His final ruling on Trump's sentence could be different. If the judge does not grant an unconditional discharge, Trump could be fined up to $170,000, even if he's not given prison time, based on $5,000 fine per charge. The judge also imposed other penalties like probation, though it's unlikely, given the logistical issues that could present Trump's presidency. And so, what is an unconditional discharge? An unconditional discharge, as Trump is likely to get, can be imposed under New York state law when the court is in the opinion that no proper purpose would be served by imposing any condition upon the defendant's release. When a defendant is given an unconditional discharge, the court will have to give its reason for doing so, and the defendant is released without imprisonment, fine, or probation supervision, according to New York law. Will Trump still be a convicted felon? Yes, by being sentenced, even if he's given an unconditional discharge, Trump will formally be convicted of 34 crimes. As the Justice Department notes, being sentenced is necessary for a conviction. The sentencing also means Trump will then be allowed to formally appeal the jury's verdict. And here's the key thing, guys. Here's the key thing. All right. Sentencing. The Justice Department notes that being sentenced is necessary for a conviction. For a conviction. That's what this is all about, guys. That's absolutely 100% what this is all about. Now, why are they doing this? It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. And oh, by the way, as I understand it, Trump cannot pardon himself. Um, because it's a state court and the presidents only have the power to pardon federal charges. Both federal crimes against Trump have been dropped. So the bottom line is they're trying to position him, they're trying to position Trump and say that now he's a convicted felon, okay? And so that they can try and stop him from taking office. It's that easy. These are these third order effects. These are tertiary effects. They're playing three-dimensional chess. Okay. Now I'm sure that Captain Red Tie is going to maneuver all around this. Yeah, they fully expect frickin' that nutbag in the house to pop out and say, "Well, he's a convicted felon and he can't hold office." Blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is I'm pretty sure that that little statement has everything to do with uh, sedition, the Sedition Act, and so that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. The House can say all day long that that they found him guilty of sedition, but that's not true. They did the investigation. When it went to the Senate, nothing happened. Nothing happened. So. I'm gonna go over and roll over to the chat here real quick and see what we got is going on. Agreed, this was a huge waste of time for a political plan. Gibbsby, let's see. Then we have a huge VA hospital in Asheville. Tuck is like 170,000. Oh no! I got you. Uh, yeah, they're looking for a conviction to try and oust him. That's all they're doing. Um, where we at here? I'm OKC. Okay, my second hand live says, question. This woman was paid to not speak about what happened, but she spoke. Can he or is he sue her for breach of contract? She really deserves it. Actually, he did sue her and she lost. She owes him like $170,000. Let's see here. A felon is not a factor in being president. I believe you're correct, Andy. Read the qualifications for president. Felony not mentioned. Well, it's part of the Sedition Act, which we're not going to get into, and they're going to argue this all day long. Uh, our government is full of so many lawyers. It's not even funny because all lawyers do is argue things. Okay, that's all they do. They make an argument. That's all they do. That's what they're trained to do, and then maneuver the law so that they can win. That's all they do. Let's see here. Only two qualifications to be president. Got you, got you. I want to run for president 2028. You should do it, Bullseye. Let's see here. Daniel's attorney actually went to prison. Interesting. No. Yes, he actually went to prison. He's a scumbag. It's that easy. Time to go to jail. Time to go to jail. Let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up here and read it to you. But this is off subject. No, I don't want. Why did my phone change? Uh, damn it! Why did my phone change? I just had a great article on my phone and it decided to go away. Anywho, I guess we'll move on to something better than that. All right, so in the not in the news, but basically it's Bad News Friday. So in 7 minutes, Captain Red Tie will be on a. He's sitting in Mar-a-Lago right now. He'll be on a. I can't believe the left isn't trying to promote this. It's really mind blowing. You know what? Let's see. I'm not sure if I can find anything. That's the Guardian. Nobody cares about you, the Guardian. Live updates. Judge to issue sentence. Date now. Where we at here? They have no update. They have no update, those non-updaters. Let me try. See if I can find something on YouTube real quick. YouTube. There might be something there. Also, guys, did you hear about the TikTok thing? Apparently, they're there's an issue with the TikToks. So we've got that. Why? Why if Trump is this is confusing. So they've got like the doors where people come into the courts with all the police and stuff. Um, and the title of this video is live Donald Trump to be sentenced in New York hush money case. But they're doing maybe his lawyers are going to come through the door. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and keep an eye on this, but it's going to be difficult with only two screens. So anywho, what do we got? Here comes one of the anywho, let's get back on point. Let's get back on point. All right, so the bottom line is that the world is not going to stop just because we want it to. Right now, the European Union is they're going to be pressuring Meta and X to enforce censorship threats linked to fact checkers and disinformation investigations. Wow, that's that's interesting, guys, and here's why. This week's statement by CEO Mark Zuckerberg and the realization that Meta where we're at here, that realization that Meta's policy shift regarding free speech on the giant's social platform doesn't necessarily end with the US is clearly sending shivers down the spine of a particular political class in Europe, the one that at least currently gets to do all the talking and gets that talking reported as gospel by legacy media. And so, officials in a number of EU countries, as well as some members of the European Parliament, are scrambling to respond to Meta's announcement in a way, it seems, simply as an emergency measure to protect their narrow political rather than uh, what may be their nation's long term greatest interest. The people's interest, meanwhile, is always the same being able to speak freely as the very first point of assurance that we do indeed live in a democratic way. But the bureaucrats obviously have a different agenda. Meta, as the first of the true tech giants to turn the free speech censorship around, does appear to be following the footsteps of Twitter. X has already been doing this for several years. And Meta changed its policies and grand scheme. All right, so now we're just getting deep. So the bottom line, guys, is that the European Union is very upset with the fact that Meta is not going to be their fact checkers anymore. They're disinformation investigators, and so they can't control what people are saying or thinking or knowing about, and it's a pretty serious issue. And so I actually had that article pulled up on my phone that has disappeared, and what's going on is that in the UK, it was announced last night that the UK has now stood up Big Brother, and their job is to monitor Elon Musk and all of the big uh, developers. And if they need to, then they will like start sending subpoenas over to the United States. Now, ironically, it's not ironic at all. It's actually pretty smart. Yesterday in the Senate, where we at here? Let's go to the chat. Yesterday in the yesterday in the Senate, you guys have to post something if you want to see something. I'm sorry, the chat is being wonky. Um, uh, was putting a bill on the floor that did pass that stops these foreign countries from issuing international subpoenas through the international was it with the ISC ICC, the International Criminal Court, and it just stops them because the way it's set up now is the state does this country doesn't like what's happening over here. They target somebody, they send this subpoena, that's arrest warrant, and then it automatically goes to extradition to an extradition court. And then if they decide that you need to be extradited, then they will snatch you up here in the United States and ship you off to whatever country. That's a thing. That's real. That's actually something that is legal right now. And so that bill was on the floor to stop all that. And that actually did pass the Senate yesterday. And I think what's happening, because I'm watching our Congress do work, and the left started off the week with, you guys are all. Actually, they started with, we're just going to work with you guys and we want to be best friends and let's get together. And then the next day it was, you guys didn't haven't changed a bit. It's like a bad relationship where, it's like your girlfriend is like she dumps you and then comes back a week later and said, let's try again. Let's see, come on, we can do better this time. And then like a week later, she's still the crazy broad that that left you a week ago, and it happens. It happens in all types of relationships, but that's what the left is doing right now. And now they're just basically flutter kicking in the wind because the both in the House and the Senate, they're proposing bills that all make sense. And there's people that are in the Democrat Party that don't want to lose their jobs. So they're actually agreeing. A lot of these votes are getting Democrat votes on some of these bills, and they're all very straightforward, common sense bills that directly attack something simple. There's also a hidden agenda where they want to say, "Hey, we worked with you guys over the last few months, months, weeks, days, whatever it is. We were playing nice. And so when this giant bill to talk about defense, the border, the IRS. I mean, there's just a myriad of things that are boom into this bill. They're going to try for one bill. Okay. They announced that yesterday or day before that to basically the bill to stop all the stupidity. Um, and so they may be playing nice so that they can get some things that they want in that bill. And honestly, I fully expect that to happen. I fully expect it to happen, but they should not be, $100,000 for the guy who's trying to recreate Mechzilla or you know, shrimp on treadmills, crap like that. We should not be funding the arts with this. This is for something later. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, coloring books for the blind. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right. So with that said, there we go. Yeah, see, even this chat died out. So you guys we're gonna go back to that one because it's got your stuff in it. Let's go back to that one. All right, so that one's semi-populated. That one's semi-populated. So looking at the chat right here, did Joe clear out Guantanamo? They moved it's either 12 or 20 of the detainees over to the UAE, is from what I understand. Lobbying should be outlawed, 100% correct. I'm going to be making campaign videos over the summer. Okay. Let's see here. For sure, Andy Pearson, I don't have that spy app either. Let's see. Fox waiting on sentencing got small pick on screen. Let's see. What do we got here? Well, I mean, I don't. There's less cops. I'm looking at the door right now, and there's. You know what? I can push this over here so you guys can see it. Um, but this is what I'm seeing right here. That's the view that I have right there. I mean, we can try. Let's try. Maybe. Oh, people are coming out. Something's happening. Something's happening. I hope this isn't like one of those useless cameras. I'm gonna look for something else on the other side just to, because I mean, sentencing doesn't take but a matter of minutes. As long as there's no issues, sentencing shouldn't take but a matter of minutes. Let me look over here on this other side. YouTube, Glenn Beck, OMG, whatever, whatever, whatever. Um, they're showing the same shit. They're showing the same thing. I'm looking, guys. I'm looking. They're all same exact camera view of the guards and stuff. That's a Fox one right there. Maybe that's yeah, they're all the same thing. Okay, so yeah, this one's slightly different. Um, let's throw that over there, and we'll take that one and mute that one. There you go. Okay, so I guess we'll throw that up there. That's Fox Local. I shouldn't get pinged for that. Is that even on my screen right now? It is. It is. And thanks for the heads up. Let there be chat. I gotcha. Um, over the pond, fought us over free speech. Originally, rest of their colonies wanted the same thing. Yeah, I know. It's like I don't understand why they keep going back to this over and over and over. I mean, I don't understand what's going to happen here. You know what? Let me have. We'll we'll just have them as ambient noise. There we go. And if something starts to happen, guys, let me know and I'll switch back over. But we need to talk briefly about Trump's inauguration. It coincides with unprecedented string of high stakes security evidence and events in D.C. So basically, what's happening is you've got Jimmy Carter's funeral is on Thursday. It's I guess it's the same day or the day before, and then you've got Trump's having a gigantic get together or gathering. I'm trying to remember, get the word in my brain uh, um, on the day before uh, the inauguration. So that's going to be a huge security issue. Um, we're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to see what's going to happen. And I'm sure it'll all be televised. Hell, I might actually throw it up here just so we can track it, but we'll see what happens. But the bottom line is that there's some pretty serious security issues that are going to be happening in the Washington D.C. area. I'll be honest with you guys, unless you live there, I would stay the hell out of there. I would stay away from that place completely. Um, and not because something might go down, okay? Because something could go down. And next thing you know, that electronic box that they threw up, around, the DC area to see whose cell phones were there. By the way, they do that. And next thing you know, you're getting a phone call. You're getting a phone call, somebody showing up on your door, and it's just a major inconvenience. So I would just stay the hell away from that place. You have to remember that the Justice Department is not going. They're not going to change. They're not going to be like, oh, well, just go weed out. The Justice Department was actively screwing with Captain Red Tie for 4 freaking years while he was in office. You know what I'm saying? And he could have squashed them anytime, anytime. So what do we got here? No, nothing. And I think that we need to remember that. So let's see. It's got that Fox 5 logo. We'll switch back to that if something starts to go down. Okay, so let's just remember that. Texan, good to see you, bro. Good to see you. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. I know they were selling off the wall parts. My friends live in LA and follows the politics closely. He commented on how he was bothered by the lowered flag or press President Carter will affect his office. You know, any comment like that, and he did say it, Rose. But what I've been doing is whenever something like that comes out, it's normally from a left-leaning uh, organization. And then you have to take, if you really want to, you have to really take the time and effort to go back and actually find him saying that, and then listen to the first 10 minutes before and listen to the second 10 minutes after. All right, because he's like the master of the loop back. He'll say, I want to talk to you about the color blue today. And then he'll spend 10 minutes talking about the price of tea and paper plates aren't really that great. And then he'll loop that back into and actually answer the question. You're like, wow, he's been talking about this for 10 minutes. I had no idea. And boom, and there it is. And so they take these little sound bites and then they just say whatever they want to say with him because they don't actually understand how the guy communicates. Um, it would bother me too if the flags were down because I'll be honest with you, Jimmy Carter just wasn't that great of a president. He really wasn't. International this and international. He made friends with all of them. And then what did he do? He, instead of not being the president anymore, he kept interfering in international policy to the point with a sitting administrator in administration was forced to send him as an ambassador or an envoy. Okay, an ambassador of goodwill. You know what I'm saying? Because they had relationships with these people. It's man, the day the statesmen are dead. There are no more statesmen. Get in, do your job, leave, and come back if you're called. That's what statesmen do. All right, let's see here. Let me check that other one. I don't think we've got nothing going on over there. All right, let's see. I'm going to check the chat. You know what we need to do, guys? We need to pay some bills. But before we do that, if you love your country, if you love your country, not your government, your country, put a number one in the chat. America. I'm going to drink some tea. I'm going to talk some smack. I'm going to read you some news. We're going to watch this douchebag in his white shirt stand there like he owns the place. Look at all those stripes. He's the coolest guy ever. All right, let's see here. Nothing on this other one. We're still. All right. So, by the way, guys, I have the sound. I have the sound on this one, but we're watching the video on this one because of the whole Fox logo thing. Oh no! Let's see here. Carter just played his part in their script. I believe that. I believe that 100%. And by the way, guys, I do need to pay some bills real quick here. Listen, guys, I'm gonna keep doing this. I only, like I said, I only do these like one time during these live streams. Today is EMP shield, guys. I have an EMP shield on both of my vehicles because if something were to go down, I want to be prepared. Now the devices are expensive, which is why I'm going to give you a coupon code of LocalPrepper. Put that in there when you order it and save yourself $50. I know some of you have. I know some of you haven't. I know times are tough. I get it. So if you can't afford it, I 100% get it. But here's the thing. If something goes down, I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to go to get grandma and I'm going to bring her back here because this is where all my stuff is. And yeah, if something goes down and you don't have an EMP shield, then uh, grandma's screwed. All right, guys, that's going to be about it. Go get an EMP shield. All right, looks like the chat lived on that one right there. Chuck says, I wouldn't lower the flag for Carter. How many times did he get away with crimes after leaving office that would get one of us buried in a prison cemetery? Yeah, exactly. Uh, wow, Nazi tube hard at work. What's that? What's that about, Texan? That's a pretty strong word, bro. Do me a favor, expand for me. Love you, man. Bradley says, Tuck, it seems to be the American way to get elected into offices and all eyes on someone else. Listen, guys, I mean, the good old boy network works. It's worked that way for years. It's basically the American way. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I take care of you, you take care of me. And, sometimes these guys look the other way. It's no different. It's no different. We may not like it, okay, because these people are supposed to be held to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? They pretend they're better than everybody, but they're supposed to be held to a higher standard. Something's happening. Something's happening. Um, but it's no different than, you know, your big brother pulls you over for doing 135 and then says, "Stop doing that. Get out of here." It's no different. It's 100% no different. So look at it that way. Think logically. EMP shield does work. Went through electric storms and car EMP on truck. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does work, and it works over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it has a lifetime guarantee. So, let's see here. Rose says there was a huge billboard put up in by the farmers of Georgia that stated, "We, the farmers of Georgia, apologize to the nation for the election of James Carter, President of the U.S." I was on I-75. I gotcha. U-Haul. Oh, Stray Kitten, you don't get that? Okay, so here's the joke. Here's the joke. It's actually completely factual, right? So we all know who Captain Blue Tie is, right? I can't just come right out and say, we all know who Captain Blue Tie is. Captain Blue Tie's got to move by the 20th, right? So he needs somebody to come get his stuff. And so I got the phone number for U-Haul. All right. Here's the funny thing. If you research the phone number for U-Haul, that's actually it. All right. But here's the funny thing. The 46, Captain Blue Tie is the 46th president of the United States. So it's perfect for him to go away. Perfect. Let's see here. Philip says he did get humanitarian work After his presidency, also as to his time as president, he was very weak. Yeah, I mean, he was known as a huge humanitarian. Don't get me wrong, but you know what? Nice guys finish last. That's the truth. You can be good and you can be strong, but you don't have to be nice to everybody. You know what I'm saying? My Fox show starting showing text of courtroom action. Okay. Yeah, we're not seeing any of that.
I'll be down as soon as this is over, period. Stay warm.
Maybe they'll say something. Let me look for another one. Um, YouTube is actually pretty good about like putting Fox stuff on. Let's see here. Trump sentencing, New York, Fox 5. That's what I'm looking at now. Um, you know what? We're gonna throw their chat up there because there might be something that gets popped in there. Send Trump to jail ASAP. Visual, suck it. It's not gonna happen. I think it's kind of interesting that people are still screaming. You know, the thing is this judge could literally say, "No, I'm sentencing you to so many years," followed by community service and a $170,000 fine. It could be doing a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? This could be a trick, but the thing is he's in Florida right now, so you know it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. That and the judge will lose all credibility, and he could find himself disbarred if he pulled some crap like that. We're just going to put Trump in the search bar. Let's see here, and I'll see what I can.
Are you going back there?
That's Mar-a-Lago. That's not. Let's go to live.
Put these on the cart.
Trump live. All right. Is anybody else tired of these fake live streams? They really are a live stream, but they're
Well, most of the courtrooms in this
they're like
country,
old. They're recorded.
if you shoot last of three, one's green, one's red, one's normal. They vary in frequency.
What do we got? Are you guys seeing anything? What's blue mean? You know what blue means. Tuck says, read the way I put it in the chat. Been watching Democrats' action since Carter. And okay, got you.
I can't see what drops into
Yeah,
our
teasing folks with these fake live streams. Yeah, it's like live. This. They make a thumbnail like seems to be current. But YouTube's been getting on to them a little bit. They literally have to start putting little notes in the top of their screen saying pre-recorded and the date it was recorded, things like that. All right, I'm not finding anything, guys, other than this
Dave got, Dave got the bat.
um,
It got a fail.
Dave got the bat.
screen,
I mean, I got
basically where the reporters are.
So
Oh my God, Don Lemon. Don Lemon has his own live stream now. It's and he's streaming it right. It's called Hot Topics Breaking Trump Sentencing Hearing, January 10th. The Don Lemon live. He's such a loser.
Hollywood props.
you can buy them. You used to be able to buy them from Tesla.
Kind of curious to what he's saying, to be honest with you.
So this is the thing when folks were saying that this was arson. That is a Kenneth fire. Now the other one, they are not sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not. He's not even staying on point. Everything. So there's nothing. Unless you know what, let me do Fox. Oh shit. Everything just got quiet. All right.
That's the stuff you huff at night, right? You got the...
It's the stuff you huff at night.
Welcome back to Live now from Fox. We are going to continue our coverage of these California wild.
Okay, we're just gonna minimize that a little bit. All right, so let's get back on point here, guys.
New York Magazine
Let me
just
go
had a
ahead.
whole
Let me check
story
the
on
chat real
everybody
quick.
using electronic stuff these
Been
days
teasing folks with these fake
to get
ones.
high.
Let's see, I hate Don Lemon. Everybody hates
They
Don
found
Lemon.
one woman who got
Prosecutors
addicted.
tell judge they will agree with unconditional discharge. Thank you, West Virginia Pappy. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Is there a wrench symbol next to it? What are you guys talking about? What are you guys? What do you huff at night? Air. I huff air. Okay, so let's get back on point. We got here. What we were talking about before with um, the Democrats playing along with things. Also, day before yesterday, the Lincoln Riley Act was voted on in the House, and a lot of Democrats voted for it. So basically, a key immigration enforcement measure could be on track for passage thanks to Democrats. A failure of the Democrats' party leader and standard bearers to present a winning message on immigration reform in 2024 is coming back to bite outgoing President Joe Biden. With days left on his presidency and the fight to define his legacy begun, his allies in Congress are seemingly prepared to compromise with the GOP on a bill that would direct immigration authorities to detain any undocumented person charged with theft. The legislation, which is named after a woman slain by unconditional. Okay, we talked about that. In the Senate, the bill easily passed a vote to allow debate to begin next week. Democrats signaled Wednesday that they'd vote for cloture after John Thune, the GOP's new majority leader, allowed amendments to the bill. The vote was 84-9. Oh, that's a major step over from the left side. The debate on the amendments could be contentious. However, multiple media outlets report on Thursday that numerous Democrats are prepared to vote for the bill as is, meaning that a filibuster may not materialize even if all the Democrat-sponsored amendments fail. Part of that stems from the decision of two relative newcomers to the chamber, John Fetterman. Oh, John Fetterman, by the way, is on his way to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump, and Ruben Galeo. I don't know who he is. Galileo? Is it Galeo? Blah, blah, blah. To co-sponsor the act before any amendments were announced. Galeo told reporters on Thursday that voters in November made clear their expectations for Congress and the White House to work together and address America's overwhelming immigration system. I think this is a guy we need to keep an eye on because he's either a sneaky bastard or a plan or a plot, but he might actually be golden. He might actually be the guy. All right, what do we got going on over here? Nothing. Nothing's happening. What about over here? Nothing. All right. All right, so I wanted you guys to see this right here. Where'd the drones go? Where'd the drones go, man?
A story that kind of disappeared very suddenly. Do you have any idea whatever happened to the drones?
What happened to drones?
Well, you had said that you thought the government knew what was happening with these drones over New Jersey. There were some by Bedminster.
I don't know. They're over Bedminster a lot, so I can imagine. I'm going to give you a report on drones about one day into the administration, because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones. And it's not only with me. Glenn was telling me today that in Virginia they have drones all over the place, too, and nobody's reporting it. I don't know why they're not. Do you want to say something about that?
Just one quick comment, which is we are home to the largest naval base in the world in Quantico, and we house a lot of the SEAL teams and have a huge national security infrastructure. And now for 2 years running, we have had drone incursion over secure airspace, and we still don't know why. And I think that's absolutely unacceptable. And I think President Trump and the new leadership coming in, I think, will work diligently to understand who's behind this and what we do in order to stop the digital surveillance of all of our secure infrastructure.
Well, I can tell you this. While we were dealing with a terrorist attack in New Orleans, we had drones being flown over our nuclear reactors in Louisiana. And we brought that attention to the FAA. We've been asking the FAA to give these states the ability to mitigate these drones, and it's sitting on some bureaucrat's desk. And that's real. Nobody knows. They don't want to talk about it. Go ahead, Governor, you're going to say?
I was just going to say we have drones in Wyoming flying over our infrastructure as well. And it's incredibly frustrating that we not only have no way of knowing what it is, but nobody knows how to deal with them.
They don't want to talk about it, and nobody knows why. They don't want to talk about it. That could be us sending drones. I hope that's the case, us doing it and doing research, and maybe they don't want to talk about it from that standpoint. I hope it's not an enemy, but we're going to find out on the 21st, the day after. You have to give me a little time for the inauguration, but shortly thereafter, we'll give you a report on it. We'll tell you exactly what it is. They know, and it's very strange that they aren't talking about it.
Is the 5 the one that goes out to Santa Monica?
All right, so I figured I'd do a follow-up there for you guys on the whole drone situation because, the bottom line is that it's kind of like it's one thing after the other. Some would actually call it a distraction, but it is it's still very there. It's still very much there, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not. All right, let's see. I'm not getting anything on this. This Trump thing, to be honest with you. I'm not finding any updated information.
For Southern California?
And honestly, I think it's just too raw, and I think that it's going to, we're at The Guardian, the Daily Mail, New York Times, ABC News.
Oh, okay. Not here. Oh, all right.
You can only find, there we go, 10 minutes ago. So where are we at? 19 minutes sentence
The
hearing
latest
is
on President Trump, President-elect Trump. He is due to be sentenced this morning in the new.
Okay, shut up.
Yes? Oh.
10 minutes ago, prosecution recommends unconditional discharge. Okay?
Well, I think that
4 minutes ago. I can put this on the screen for you guys.
I don't think the climatologists.
There we go. Let me make sure that's what I'm actually doing. I'm not sure where I'm at. There we go. All right, so this is ABC News, and they have what they call a live tickler right here. Prosecution, 11 minutes ago, prosecution recommends unconditional discharge. Judges now giving both parties the opportunity shut up to speak. The people recommend a sentencing as unconditional discharge. Prosecutor appears to be taking notes. The verdict in this case was unanimous and decisive, and it must be respected, Steinglass says. One update. 5 minutes ago, Trump engaged in a direct attack on the rule of law, prosecutors. Instead of preserving, protecting, and defending our established system of criminal justice, the once and future president engaged in a campaign to undermine legitimacy. What is this? So, okay, so where is this? Let's see here. Case should not have been brought, Trump lawyer says. I very, very disagree with the government's just said. Trump's attorney says, Blanche says Trump has been fighting this case to this day, and they disagree that this was an appropriate case to be brought. It was not, Blanche says. We intend on appealing. Blanche confirms. Legally, this case should not have been brought, Blanche says, with Trump nodding his head in agreement. The majority of the American people agree that this case should not have been brought. It is a sad day for President Trump and his family and his friends, but it also, in counsel's view, a sad day for the country. He says this was brought by a district attorney who promised he would go after President Trump if elected, and that's sad. All right, so basically what we've got is the tit for tat. We've got the district attorney giving his verbiage right here. The defendant has caused enduring damage to the criminal justice system and has put officers of the court in harm's way. The defendant has caused enduring damage to public perception of the criminal system. We've got some noise in the background here. Let's stay on this because we could get like a little update inside of there. Looks like the cops have moved off of that spot. I'm gonna get rid of the chat right here because I don't think it's necessary. Let's go like that. All right. In fact, let's do some magical stuff. Let's do some magical stuff. I'm gonna take this and put that over there. I'm gonna take this, put this over here, and that over there. And now we can do both things. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the refresh on this. 2 updates. Okay. We got that 7 minutes. The case should not have been brought, Trump lawyers say. That was 2 minutes ago. And now we're kind of waiting. So people are reporting from within inside the courtroom via whatever means they can possibly do, you know. It's just color separated YouTube. Trump isn't insists accounts logged legal expenses. Well, I mean, they never they never he didn't no one ever said this didn't happen. No one ever said that. Okay? Um and that's the issue. That's the issue. Forget the fact that they tried to use a law that had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? These are, at the minimum, these are accounting error. There was no effort to defraud anybody. Okay. And they keep talking about this hush money case. The truth is, this case was actually about the the overvaluation of a property. That's what this all came about, which led to this, which led to that. They connected all these dots to so that they could get him on this stupid little charge. These 34 counts. It's like it's a felony, but it's really a misdemeanor. It's like, well, which is it? Huh? You know, the legal system in the state of New York is not robust. It is extremely flawed and lacks total common sense. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's see here. Trump Trump and said voters watching and voted decisively. Okay. Okay. So we've got that is going on. We're going to give this a minute. We're going to give this. I mean, that's not what this live stream is about, but we're going to give this a minute.
Like that door that Ashley.
I think it's a good idea. I'm going to give Reuters a thumbs down. I don't like them.
You have a gentleman's.
All right, let's hit the see if we've got anything. Oh, we got 16 minutes ago. No. That's 10 minutes ago. Come on, man. Come on. 4 minutes ago, we did that. So it's been 4 minutes since we've got an update here. Let's see. I'm looking at this other Fox channel. All they're showing is fire stuff. It's a giant distraction. The sergeant's on the door. He's like, why am I standing here? I'm a sergeant. I'm going to move around because I'm a sergeant because I can do that. Ten dead. Down in 80,000 under evacuations orders as LA fires burn. LA fires burn. What do we got here? Anything good? Got the sound on for both of these, so when something happens, we should know. That should be live. There we go. Why aren't these feeds live? Oh, we got a new update. Okay, 1 minute ago. This has been a very terrible experience, Trump says. This has been a very terrible experience, Trump says, addressing the court on the large monitor. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system, he said. Trump is now going. We got to go see more. Boom. Because he's long-winded. Trump is now going after a former assistant district attorney who resigned from the office before his indictment was brought. He blames the accountants for logging the hush money payment to Stormy Daniels as a legal expense. It's incredible, actually. Trump says about his actions that prompted his indictment, arguing he correctly labeled Cohen's payment as legal expenses. Trump says this was a case Alvin Bragg did not want to bring, as the DA stared straight ahead, expressionless, watching the feed. It's an injustice of justice, Trump says about the case, citing a series of legal experts who criticized the case. It's been a political witch hunt. It was damage It has damaged my reputation, so I would lose the election. Trump says, boasting how he got more votes than any Republican and won all 7 swing states. Judge Marchand is calmly watching Trump speak with his hand on his chin. Oh, he already knows. He already knows. You guys ever seen that before? It's like, so when somebody's like watching, they're doing this. This means they don't even want to hold their own body weight up, that they're just like, I've already decided, but I'm just going to let this guy talk. Yeah, we already have the plan. We already know what we're going to do. I've already decided. We're just doing this now because like we have to for some reason. That's what that means. When somebody sets like that, everybody should learn to read a little bit of body language. It's healthy. It's good for them. All right, let's see here. It looks like we're just waiting right now. Oh, we got some. Okay, so she's there, but I do have the volume up. I think I do. Yeah, I have the volume up. I should be able to hear her if she starts talking. We're going to go ahead and mute that one. No, mute it. There we go. So if she starts talking, we should be able to hear something. She's probably just going to come out here and regurgitate everything that I just read. Mershon speaking. Could be a Democrat. All the contractors, the banks, everybody got paid back with interest. It was all happy supposed. It was all happy supposed to do business. Yeah, exactly, Nico. You know, when you have the government, the prosecution saying that he was attempting to defraud the banks, and then the person for the bank shows up and says, "Oh, it was a perfect deal. We actually made a lot of money. We do business with Trump all the time. We have no problems with anything that he's doing. He didn't break any of our rules or any laws." So, you know, it's like, oh, where do you go from that? That's why this case is so like, what is going on here? None of this makes any sense. You know, there's no victim here. You know, the libertarian would be like, this is a victimless crime. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but it's not only is there no victim here, there's no law that's been broken here, but somehow it's in a court of law. It's just completely mind blowing. I think she's getting ready to start yapping.
Interesting.
She's giving up on her hair.
Well, he already said that.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're waiting for that update. Waiting for that update. So right now we're at case should have been brought. We got 3. I think it's just telling us what the updates were. Terrible experience, and we're waiting for the story to develop. Sky News is covering it. Yeah, but what are they talking about though? Let's you got to be careful with all these live streams because they could say something that is trademark, copyright, like the music and stuff like that. Trump sentencing live. What is that? That's going to be. It's the same thing I'm watching. All right. Let's go to Sky.
I don't know.
Sky News.
Lunch.
Is it noon already?
Aside, you've already gone to the appeal court.
They're literally watching a TV station. All right, I'm going to throw this over here just because.
That he wanted. The sentencing, Matt, is coming now, according to this Google Doc that we're both looking at. Marchand has said this: Donald Trump, the ordinary citizen, Donald Trump, the criminal defendant, would not be entitled to such considerable protections. Ordinary citizens do not receive those legal protections. It's the office of the president and the office holder and the citizens of this nation, once again, who decided that you be returned to office.
James, he has been sentenced to this unconditional discharge, with Marchand saying at this time, I impose that sentence to cover all 34 counts. I think he's finished off by saying, I wish you Godspeed for your second term in office, and thank you. So just to confirm that, in the past few moments, Donald Trump has been sentenced by Judge Juan Marchand at this New York City court to an unconditional discharge for the crime of falsifying business records. And that covers all 34 counts, James.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
All right, so I think it's kind of funny. This is Sky News. Sky News, instead of sending somebody there, is like looking at a screen. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And here's the funny thing: how do they actually? That's the video feed. That screen that you're seeing right there. That's the video feed of him actually. Like, how are they getting that? How do they have that on a TV? That's there's some dirty pool going on here, guys. All right, so 1 minute ago, I've been treated very unfairly, says Trump. Trump concludes a statement by saying, "I've been treated very unfairly, and thank you very much." Um, his tone for all this remarks was very calm and balanced. He said it plainly as if he were reading a speech. He never appeared to raise his voice. Judge Marchand is now explaining his reasoning for the unconditional discharge. Trump is looking directly into the camera as Marchand explains his sentence. Never before has this court been presented with such a unique, remarkable setting of circumstances, Marchand says. This has been a truly extraordinary case. Marchand is now remarking on the unremarkable nature of the trial, no different than any other trial that has been placed in this. So unremarkable. This guy literally just said that the case was unremarkable, but the circumstances of the sentence are extraordinary. Marchand remarks regarding presidential immunity. So, and it's funny too. Once again, where are they getting this feed from? This is they don't have direct access to the feed, okay? But they're taking a snapshot of the screen that was inside the courtroom. That's what that is. That's what that is.
And who knows what would have happened 4 years hence. But Donald Trump, that's the headline this morning. In a New York courtroom, an unconditional discharge handed down by the judge.
Yeah, exactly. It's unconditional. He gets nothing for this.
Classified now as a convicted felon.
There you go. Thank you,
James
Sky
Matthews in
News.
Washington,
Fuck
D.C.
off. Excuse my French. I'm just a little tired of all the ridiculousness. That's because that's the goal. Now everything's going to be Donald Trump, convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon. That's exactly what they're going to be doing with all this. There's no way around it. That's what's going to happen. All right, so she's talking, but nothing's happening. So we'll see what she's got to say. Remember, this is Fox 5. This is not Fox News. This is Fox 5. So she could be saying something. Sky News isn't liberal. Sky News is socialist, guys. They do cover a lot of stuff very rapidly. They do cover a lot of stuff that takes a day to get into the U.S. Media stream. But they're liberals. They're absolute liberals. They actually came out against Donald Trump when he was the president. If you can accuse the pun, all the charges were over trumped. Absolutely, 100%, Ian, 100%. Right, she's got her mic up. She's getting ready to try and do some talking here. We'll see what she's got to say. We'll turn her off too if she's stupid. Right now on MSNBC, it's going to be like, oh, he's officially convicted. What's next? That's going to be their next thing. So tired of all the garbage. It needs to end. Yeah, exactly, Rose. 100%. I don't even like covering this kind of stuff, but it's news for people. So, in fact, let's just go ahead and let's do this. Let's do this. All right, we're going to mute all that stuff right there. Guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with me for an extra 13 minutes so that we could find out what was going to happen. I'm sure there'll be official statements. I won't be covering this crap. And like Rose said, this is all garbage at this point. It's all garbage. I hope that you guys have a great weekend. And on your way out the door, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You guys know when I'm here and how to find me. If you have not watched my video on that I uploaded last night about the was it Neo Wolf, Nito Wolf, I think it's something Wolf. They're actually air pumps, and I'm glad I could reach even one person. Actually said, "Hey, I've been looking for something that won't burn out after the first time." Yeah, these things are pretty high quality. So check that video out. Go to my video feeds. Blah blah blah. You guys know the deal, you know. And my mug still hasn't showed up, but hopefully I'll have it for Monday. I'll be making another video today or tomorrow about another product that somebody sent me. They're not, it's not super prepper related, but I still think it's cool, so I'm going to make the video. All right, guys. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Wait, let's see. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye bye.